Please remain seated for our centering hymn, Chant for the Seasons.
Autumn cold has turned the star wheel, winter is upon us. Autumn cold has turned the star wheel, winter is upon us. Gray the windy storms, cold upon our cheeks, the wet rain glistens, glistens. Autumn cold has turned the star wheel, winter is upon us. Leaping is the fire, golden in the glass, the cider glows like amber. Autumn cold has turned the star wheel, winter is upon us.
Recently, I've been acutely aware that many of our expressions about time describe it as a concrete thing that we own. These ubiquitous phrases portray time as a marketable commodity to be bought and sold. We can spend time, we can buy time, we can borrow time, we can save time, we can use time, make time, lose time, and even kill time. These expressions that link time to productivity and trade represent values that are embedded in our culture and are internalized so deeply within us that we may be unable to see it. Lately, I've been on a personal crusade against this perversion of the concept of time by correcting my speech, replacing a seemingly simple statement like, "I spent my morning reading a book," with, "I read a book this morning." It's been a challenging but illuminating exercise, and I invite you to try it. The ability to keep track of time plays an important role in today's world. Our timepieces tick off the seconds, minutes, and hours of the day, but we can't actually see time at all. Because we can't see it, the nature of time carries an element of mystery, making it a topic of exploration for contemporary artists, writers, and scientists, and across millennia for ancient people as well. Throughout much of human history, most of the people in any given civilization lived close to the land, intimately integrated into the natural world. Their livelihood, their very survival, was closely linked to the sun that was essential to the growing of crops to feed their communities and the animals that nourished them. They watched the sun's progress through the sky and the shadows that it cast. The shortest or non-existent shadow identified noon, an important halfway point of the day. But the length of every day changed from one day to the next. The ancients had no inkling of our modern framework that defines one day as 24 hours of equal length. Our ancient ancestors also understood the patterns of the changing seasons with 2 equinoxes each year when the length of day and night are equal. They understood summer solstice, the longest amount of daylight hours, and winter solstice, which we are experiencing today, demarcating the shortest amount of daylight hours and the longest amount of darkness. We know they were aware of these solar events because they built monuments that illuminate certain areas of their structures during one or more of these annual solar events. Ancient people in Ireland built a huge mound of dirt and surrounded it with stones. For 5 days around the winter solstice, a beam of sunlight illuminates a small room inside the mound for 17 minutes at dawn. The monument is known today as Newgrange. Other well-known sites with a close relationship to the sun include England's iconic Stonehenge, Peru's Machu Picchu, and Mexico's Chichen Itza. Thank you, Joe. So well done. The effort necessary to construct these massive structures demonstrates how important it was to their survival to track and anticipate the cycles of the sun and the changes of the seasons. Humans have also visualized the cyclical nature of time with calendars that give structure to our years. All of them originated with a foundation in natural phenomena of the sun, the moon, or other celestial bodies. And sometimes different calendars are used simultaneously in the same civilization for different purposes, and we see that today. In his novel, The Overstory, Richard Powers writes, "People have no idea what time is. They think it's a line spinning out from 3 seconds behind them, then vanishing just as fast into the 3 seconds of fog just ahead. They can't see that time is one spreading ring wrapped around another, outward and outward, until the thinnest skin of now depends for its being on the enormous mass of everything that has already died." Our modern civilization and ways of timekeeping stand on the shoulders of early innovators of the past and on the shoulders of all who came after them. In addition to the monument builders, our ancestors devise ways of quantifying time with all manner of inventions and systems, from a simple stick in the ground that cast a shadow whose length changed throughout the day, to obelisks, sundials, water clocks, hourglasses, burning candles and incense, and to the mechanical clock, which was invented only 700 years ago. In the ensuing 700 years, mechanical clocks have been reinvented using pendulums, quartz crystals, and most recently, atoms. The goal of each innovation was to provide a framework within which we could organize our lives and schedule our activities. With each innovation, the methods of timekeeping have become progressively precise and increasingly disconnected from the natural world, from the natural cycles of the sun and the earth. The atomic clock used today measures intervals of time as small as 1/1,000,000th of a second, a nanosecond. Atomic clocks are used to establish a uniform time standard across the globe and for satellite navigational systems. Likewise, modern science has added a layer of understanding to the annual phenomenon of our winter solstice, discovering that it occurs in our part of the world when the northern hemisphere of the Earth is tilted as far away from the sun as possible, making the sun's path across the sky as low as it can be at this time of the year. When you think about it, the Earth's daily rotation, the moon's near monthly orbit around the Earth, and the Earth's annual orbit around the sun seems a lot like a giant celestial clock. And by the way, this year, the winter solstice is taking place right about now at 10:03 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at this location. I don't know, wait for something to happen. So even with our calendars and our atomic clocks, do we know what time itself is? What is it made of? I submit that time embodies the concept of change, and as such is a mystery. How can we not notice the remarkable changes in the development of a growing child or the changes in our own bodies as we grow older? It's a mystery when I look at youthful photos of people that I've only known as seasoned adults and can't imagine how they could have changed so much. Octavia Butler writes about change in this passage from her book, Parable of the Sower. All that you touch, you change. All that you change, changes you. The only lasting truth is change. God is change. The concept of change as the only lasting truth is linked to the concept of time, and the concept of time is still a mystery, and mystery may be connected to all that is sacred, making time sacred. Our culture influences the way we view time, which means that we can change how we view time. We can acknowledge that our economy runs on the deeply embedded idea that time is money, but this is not the only story we can tell about time. We can embrace other metaphors for time that promise to serve us better. We can view time as a magical gift, offering new ways of being in the world. We can view it as a sacred foundation of the world in which we dwell. We can view time as the very fabric of our lives, beautifully woven into everything that we do. We can view it as the ethereal substance through which we move that allows us to exert agency in the world. We can view time as a precious vessel that is ours to fill with beautiful experiences, warm friendships, and meaningful presence. We can view time as the space that we inhabit that welcomes our whole selves. In this time of winter solstice and beyond, may we fully inhabit the time in which we exist, create, and love. May it be so. Our offering supports our mission as a progressive, justice-loving, welcoming, and caring community. We find strength in our collective action and shared purpose, knowing that we are stronger together and never alone. Please give generously to sustain this community that supports and prepares us for the challenges of these complicated and difficult times. You can submit your offering electronically via the link in the chat or mail it to All Souls Church at the address provided.
Treasure underfoot. All our days you ground our being, sage and thistle, grass and root. Herbs to heal us, plants to feed us, land to till and tend and plow. With the pendant deep as midnight earth, we ask you be here now. Lover, spirit, intuition in the center of our souls. In your love we find relation, all connected we are whole. Timeless mystery, quiet conscience, deepest values voice inside. With the drum and with the cauldron, this we ask you be our guide.
I do cherish my time. Retirement has been good for me. It's possible that I cherish the minimal structure a bit too much. Perhaps some of you can relate. I found this inspiring story on Facebook and modified it a little. It's called Time and Patience. I was waiting at the register of a store yesterday, arms full of paper towels and cleaning products, when I noticed someone at the register ahead of me. They were trying over and over again to punch their PIN into the card reader. It beeped, blinked red, and refused to work again and again. Behind me, someone sighed loud enough for everyone in the checkout line to hear. "Come on," they muttered, shifting from one foot to the other like this was stealing important time they could never get back. The cashier, bless her heart, tried to stay patient, but you could see the tension in her shoulders too, that mixture of sympathy and schedule that retail workers live under. So I stepped forward. "Let's try one more time for you," I said softly. "Take a deep breath. Sometimes these machines have worse manners than people." That earned me a little smile. They nodded, tapped the card again, and this time it worked. When they looked up, their eyes crinkled with relief. Well, isn't that something? Even my card's getting forgetful. We laughed together, but the person behind me didn't. They just grabbed their items, muttered something under their breath, and stalked out the door. The cashier handed over the receipt, and they started gathering their bags, 4 of them, heavy with canned goods, laundry detergent, and a few treats that made me think they enjoyed the little things. A box of sugar wafers, a new dish towel printed with sunflowers. They made their way to the exit only to stop at the row of shopping carts. Their cart had one of those long metal poles sticking up from it, the kind that stops you from taking it out of the store. They tried to angle it just right to get it through the door, and I could see the confusion and embarrassment starting to flicker across their face. I put my items down and stepped forward. "Here, let me help you," I said. "Oh no," they insisted quickly, with a voice tight but polite. "That's all right, I'll manage." I shook my head. "You've already done your managing for the day. Please let me give you a hand." "Well," they said, "I don't want to trouble you. You might not even be parked near me." "Then I'll just walk a little further," I said, smiling. "It'll do me good." That's when they finally let me help. As we walked out together, we both introduced ourselves. Then as we loaded the bags into the trunk, they kept apologizing. "I used to be faster," they said. I just smiled and said, "Well, you're doing just fine." When I closed the trunk and turned to wish them a good day, I heard, "How much do I owe you?" I laughed, thinking it was a joke. "You don't owe me a thing." But their expression didn't change. No, you helped me carry those heavy bags. I must pay you." That's when my heart cracked a little. I said, "You don't owe me anything, not for this." But some confusion remained. "It's just people don't do that anymore," they whispered. As I drove home, I couldn't stop thinking about them because somewhere along the way, we taught them that help must come with a price. When did kindness and giving our time become a transaction? When did we start living like generosity requires a receipt? Many people are experiencing difficulty with small tasks of all kinds, and if we're honest, we're failing them. We're failing people all across the spectrum of age and ability, some who built our towns, raised us or our parents, kept our neighborhoods kind, our young ones too, who are growing up thinking eye contact is a threat and patience is optional. We have to do better. We have to choose kindness, not just when it's convenient or photogenic, but when it's slow and awkward and unprofitable. We have to hold doors, smile first, speak gently, offer our time like it's worth more than our money, because it is. We have to remind people that kindness still exists, that not everyone wants something in return, that they can walk through this world believing they're safe and valued. We need that spark again, not the kind of spark that burns fast and fades, but the steady kind, the one that warms hearts and lights others to do the same. So here's my challenge to you. Tomorrow, Be deliberate. Go out of your way for someone. Say you're welcome and mean it. Ask a name, remember it. If you see someone having difficulty, don't wait to be asked. Step forward. Offer your time. Show them we remember what community feels like. I truly know what it feels like to be fumbling with the machines in the checkout line in a store. Just recently I was having difficulty with the machine and looked at the person waiting for me as if to say sorry. Luckily, they seemed okay with the situation and gave me an encouraging smile. The story makes me want to take the time to notice others that may need help. And it makes me want to be kinder and more helpful. I feel like the kindness of neighbors and support of community are going to be more important as we work through the current polarized climate we live in. Sharing our time, or at least not getting angry over others wasting our time, may just be a big part of the answer to that question, where do we go from here? I think we can do better. I promise to do better more often. I really want to live in that joyful, friendly place. And I still believe that most people are kind and willing to share their time freely. So I don't think it's too much of a stretch. This community gives me hope. I feel that we're deeply connected because we take the time to look and see each other. Thank you for being you. I want to try something different by speaking the closing words and extinguishing the chalice between verses of our next hymn. So please stand as you are willing or able for the closing hymn, number 94, What is This Life? And we'll be doing a verse of singing, then a verse of speaking, a verse of singing, a verse of speaking, and a verse of singing.
What is this life? It's full of care. We have no time to stand and stare. No time to stand beneath the boughs and stare as long as sheep or cows.
On this, the longest night of the year, we're warmed by the certain knowledge that tomorrow will welcome more light than today. As it has for eons, for billions of years, the coming of light brings life. May we be awed by the great miracles of light and life, and faithfully nurture the mystery and the magic and wonder.
No time to see when woods we pass, where squirrels hide their nuts in grass. No time to see in broad daylight, streams full of stars like stars at night.
How short the daylight hours have now become. How gray the skies, how barren seem the trees. But light returns to balance darkness. Life surges in the evergreen and us.
No time to turn at beauty's glance and watch her feet how they can dance. A boy like this, if full of care, we have no time to stand and stare.
want to recognize the many hands and hearts that came together to create today's service. It was a joy to collaborate with Don on this service. We recognize our music director, our choir members, the tech team, our service associates, our that service associate, cross that out, ushers and greeters, and our coffee hour organizers, members of the Sunday Service Committee, and candlelighters. We extend our thanks to all of you joining us here in this welcoming community. We would welcome your participation in this endeavor. Maybe you would like a speaking part or some other role. It's fun to get involved. For our upcoming events, our chime submission deadline for the January chimes is this Tuesday, December 23rd at 6 p.m. We will hold our Christmas Eve service here and on Zoom this Wednesday, December 24th at 6 p.m. There'll be no writing group in December, but we will meet on January 7th to plan a Sunday service we'll be doing in March that will feature our experience with Marge Kearns in our writing group. She was a member since it began. Next Sunday, December 28th, is a 5 Points cluster service at Murray UU Church in Attleboro at 10 a.m., not 10:30, 10 a.m. The topic is on renewal. Our next Food for the Soul brunch will be held 2 weeks from today on Sunday, January 4th at 10:30. There's a box in our foyer for donations of non-perishable food items that are then brought to the Marge Crispin Center food pantry, and this pantry provides food to any Braintree resident who's in need of assistance. All Souls is again participating in the winter coat drive with Coats for Kids and Families. We'll be collecting coats until January 10th, 2026. There's a big box in the foyer where you can deposit them. It's a good time to clean out your closet for gently used or new coats that you're no longer wearing, and Lynn Steiner is the organizer of that project. Today, Sarah Elstrom is collecting hats and gloves in memory of Marge Kearns, and they'll be donated to our unhoused neighbors. All Souls is a part of the 5 Points Cluster, a collaboration of several UU churches. You can find out what's going on at any of them by following the link to the cluster calendar that appears in our monthly newsletter, The Chimes, or by visiting the websites of each church. Those on Zoom can stay online for a virtual social hour. If you are in the building, please join us in the parish hall for refreshments. Thank you for sharing this time together. Go in peace.